Hello everybody. What's missing from the top there? The now playing is missing. Why is the now playing missing? Oh, I know why it's missing. Whoops. Play now. Fubar 2000. There we go. That's in the wrong place. Dang it, Fubar or whatever. Where's the thingy? Track info. There we go. Alright, so I've actually got no idea what I'm going to do today. I might... Oh, by the way, I'm kind of surprised I didn't get any questions about this. You might be wondering why I've written an N in this field. It's because I'm counting this side of the map as the north. So let's get rid of this straight away. I don't need this no more. There we go. Gone. Good. Rodri, you've said that 3 streams in a row now, dude. My trust for you saying that is gone. You very did it. I think what we're gonna do today is actually make ourselves a yard. Hello, Kieran. I'm gonna say this straight away, just in case people want to complain later. I've asked the mods to keep something in particular out of the stream, so they will be doing some stuff that's a bit out of the ordinary. What was it? Huh. That's different. What happens if I change it to be stupid? The map disappears. Okay, what happens if it's like 1? That's better. Let's build up a yard over here. So terrain paint mode first. And I want to, well, texture layer. I'll just paint in grass. Just to get this nice and smooth, and I will dirty up the yard a bit, you know, in time. Don't worry, it's not going to be perfectly clean and smooth. Bit of concrete can go down here. Just making use of what I got at the moment. A tight yard, absolutely, pizza. This is going to be it's not going to be fully built up today. I'm going to build up a few bits of yard today, because I actually want to download and get myself some extra resources for yards. So I want to change the right mouse button to replace and set my replace to that. That is not correct. So I'll replace that for now. Let's go into the map. Actually, let's create a new transform group and call it this can be yard 1. Hey Rob, thank you for the 10 New Zealand oh god. 10 New Zealand dollar dues. Incoming people. It just occurred to me that was going to happen, so now I got to move this up the scene graph. Move up. Move up. There we go. Move up. Move up. Hello, Ryan. How are you doing today? So like I was saying, the mods have been told to kind of cut nonsense a bit. Jokes are fine and all that, and questions are good. But, certain topics are off limits, unfortunately, because there is some stuff going on that I am in no way going to talk about. Hello, Matt. Monster. Let's keep moving this up the scene graph. Up. I wish there was a quicker way to do this. Up. Okay, it's actually in position. Right, where is all of the stuff? If yard 1 is over here, then clearly this stuff is going to be over here. Let's see. I think something like this would be nice in the yard. So we'll just see where we are in relation to it. Okay, so it's over here. And ooh, this is going to be a tight yard, isn't it? That makes it interesting. So put that... put it here for now and actually just leave it. The yard stuff should be over here. Here it is. Because I'm gonna want something a bit like this as well. I think I'm actually building up a different yard to the one I started. Where is the thing that I just played? Oh, it's over here. Derp-de-derp-de-derp. So I would place this definitely in a corner. Like... actually... yeah, like this. And let's get the place tool on the go and just replace the ground a bit. Hey, I plaz or il plaz. Now the ground replacement is going to be meaning that I'm going to have to put like a rock texture, something to cover that. Which, oddly enough, is fine by me. Like if I was to make some of this mud or something, or dirt, I'm just a bit conscious that it could pull it away from the road a bit, so I'm a bit careful. Maybe a bit careful. I'm actually going to move this just over a nudge like that, and forward a skosh. There we go, so that I can just raise this up a bit, level it out. Just as expected, it screwed up the road a bit, which is fine because it's relatively easily fixed. There we go. And how close are we to like anything here? fine. So let's get leveling again. They have tip calls. Not yet. Tip calls are something that I will work on in a bit. Because there is a shed in this pack that does come with tip calls, and I just need to take them and attach them to the other sheds, effectively. Apparently I need to raise that up so that I can level it off. Replace limit higher, I guess maybe might do something here. No? Okay. So that's that done. Let's make the brush small again. Put a bit of detail work into this. So let's see what we've got in this square already. Concrete and grass. So we got two textures we can play with. One is going to be rough dirt. For show. Because in reality, this would be quite muddy and dirt. Well, this will get a lot of dirt in it, so let's just... throw a bit of dirt down here like this. And maybe a bit of pig mud just to kind of accentuate that. Great. Let's just smooth this off here. The last thing we want is a rough yard. In fact, I think I can raise that entire shed a small bit. This looks weird. I don't think this corner is actually level. Oh, it wasn't. But do I mind the shed kind of having a bit of a tilt to it? Honestly, no. It kind of... yeah. Put the brush opacity to 1 for leveling. Good point! Because if the brush opacity ain't 1, it doesn't actually level correctly. I want to keep the hardness quite low. Because otherwise it does cause problems. Placement, no, there we go. So let's just kind of bring this yard up and down to roughly just the 1 level. Because there's not much of a terrain, terrain change in this yard. If I do feel like I need to, I can make this bit lower a bit. Or just sit a bit lower. How's that working with the road? Not at all. Okay, so this bit may need to sit a bit higher. Let's just level this off and see what it does. Because I don't want it to take or to have too much of an effect on the road, and this is actually the most... that's the most important bit, because that's the way into the yard. If it's a bit of a rough yard, it doesn't matter too much. It just kind of makes it feel like there's cracks in the concrete and whatnot. Gives that impression. How long am I streaming? Till 7. Don't want to go much longer than that. Can I fit? I can fit a rather big shed in there. I think. So let's have a look at the bigger sheds I've got available at the moment. Because remember, this isn't going to be absolutely everything. Let's put this into the yard. This is the one that has tip calls, so I can whip the tip calls off this as well. Over to this yard. Yeah, the perils of a DEM, you're constantly working on it. Constantly working and reworking it, because it just doesn't want to sit the way that you want it to. Speaking of sitting the way you want it to, that looks actually quite good. It fits into the little space there that I had. Actually, I'd like this level to be the level. Yeah, slightly higher, but not too much. Around the edge there, I think I can almost leave it sit like that. Like if I were to make this, I'll just move this slightly like here-ish. It's probably gonna screw up the road actually if I do this, but let's give it a try. I just give it. Music quite loud. Hey, underused. It's quite well proportioned. This shed pack, yeah. I mean, you got some nice big sheds, and then you got the really quite small one. I can link it to the pack later on if you want, Matt. So if I were to put some grass, we'll say here. Here like this. I'm going quite close to the edge. Then again around the back here, just kind of bring the grass close up to the edge. Kind of even a bit closer than that. But not so close that it goes inside the shed. Just gives kind of a nice impression that it's been there for a while, and I'm going to be retexturing these sheds a bit anyway. There's no grass texture inside the shed, no. Fantastico. So rough dirt now, I'm going to bring the opacity down to, yeah, 0.4 should be good enough. Just to the impression that there's been work going on in this shed over time. A bit of pig mud to accentuate that. Hello, Eddie. Is this the main yard? No, 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 no. This is one of the side yards. It's not going to be on map where there's just the one yard. There's going to be, like, if I zoom out, there's a yard here, 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 a yard. This might be a house actually, this area. But this is going to be a yard. These are probably going to be like a sell point or something, as well as the major like sell point area here. That's going to be a placeables yard. There's going to be a yard here. Your BJ is going to be up here. There's going to be a house here, 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 here. Possibly here. Over here as well. More mod? You guys turn my jokes against me. Hey, Drax 1000. But this is... like, obviously I'm gonna have to bring it into game to double check this, but it does look quite nice. I'd like to get more dirt in here. Because I get the feeling that this shed will be heavily used. It just dabs of mud to give the impression that it's like not all fresh dirt. It's been dragged in over time. There's writing on the map if you zoom out? Yes! That's what happens when I get smart and actually write things on the map. So right now this yard still looks quite huge. Do I know of any cheap mics? I know of plenty. Do I know of any good cheap mics? Not really. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get the tip calls off the shed, hopefully a big one. That'll be perfect. We'll copy that. And we can rescale the tip calls to go on this shed. So let's see. This axis needs to be smaller. Like that. Just gonna nudge it forward a small bit so it doesn't actually... That looks good. So you might notice I'm leaving a bit either I don't actually really want to... Oops. Don't actually want to leave all that much either side, so I'm just going to bring this in a bit more. Like that. And just bring this up. So even if you did derp a bit, it's pretty impossible to get stuff in there like that. Put another tip call on here. This one is going to go against this wall here. And here's where it gets fun / annoying, is I'm going to have to try and line this up pretty much perfectly. Oh. Never mind, it was actually at 90 degrees to the other one. So this is quite heavy concentration time so that I get this as right as I possibly can. We're going to duplicate this one and just bring it across the shed like this. So now this shed has, in theory, well, almost all the tip calls. I'm going to duplicate this back one now. Bring it forward to the front here like this. Shrink it so it effectively takes up the doorway, and then budge it over. Shrink it again. Shrink it again. Because I'm going to tip call off the entire shed. We can duplicate this because it should, in theory, be the same on this side of the doorway. And it is. Now this shed has full tip calls. In fact, I'm slightly concerned about the rear tip call, yeah. So the tip call on the rear here can just be brought forward a nudge. So I prefer for it to be inside the shed than outside. Stick the bottom of the box below the ground. Okay. Wait. Bottom of the box is now below the ground. Actually, if I were to just scale this up like that. Let's do this in a smart way, because when you tweak the scaling like this, it actually tweaks both sides at the same time, so it does a full and proper rescale of it. Right. Rip. There you go. How can you do this stuff? Practice, patience, and knowledge. How many times have I broken Upton so far? Technically none. Well, I want to say technically none. How many bugs have I found? A few small ones so far. What are the noises I make? They're just weird noises I make. There's no particular reason for it. Hello, VF. I've decided that today I'm making a yard. Because, well, I felt like making a yard. So let's get this budged up against this reasonably nicely. It doesn't have to be perfect. But for my eye, it'll have to be good enough. I would argue that's good enough. Like this, we'll take this level here. Bring everything to this level. Which it's looking like I'm gonna have to raise the I'm gonna have to raise up the entire shed a small bit, which is fine by me. How bad does it get over here when I like get up to the fencing? That's kind of fine actually. It kind of looks like it's been built up over time as opposed to like built yesterday. Like in reality you wouldn't have picture perfect flatness everywhere. You would have weird bits of wonk and, you know, bulges in the ground, and maybe the yard's a bit higher because you want it to have good drainage. Yes, I'm going that far into trying to explain away why the yard is so much higher. Am I adding gates? Yes. Map available for download. Does it look like it's ready for download, Ripper? It'll be public when it's out, though. It'll be completely public when it's out, and OBS keyboard add-in would be nice. There are like plugins you can get for OBS that'll do what I've got my XSplit doing. That said, I got some news yesterday that pleased me significantly. Because some of you might know I've been looking into the Stream Deck. The Elgato Stream Deck, because Landy and Sim have them. And they've been raving about it. I've been talking to them. And yesterday I got news from XSplit themselves that the Stream Deck now actually works natively with XSplit. I seem to be doing a lot more on the map these days. Honestly, I am. Well, I'm actually not. So at the moment, because I'm testing Upton, which is kind of public knowledge now, because I'm testing Upton for Lancy, the map is taking a bit of a back seat. Every time you see me work on the map for a little while at least, every time you see a video or a stream on the map, that's all the work I've done on the map in that time period. Because I'm putting Upton kind of second behind videos. And last night I literally stayed up until like 5 in the morning doing something for a video. Which was dumb, but it needs to be done. And that video is going to take like a few days to work on. You can hopefully, fingers crossed, expect that video next week. Maybe. Because it is a video that I need to make, I think, to dispel some illusions people have. A normal night? Not really. I don't usually spend 3 hours working on a script for a video every night. No, last night I spent 3 hours working on a script for something that I feel needs to be made. And scripting out what I think needs to be, well, what needs to be said. Because there's some unfortunate illusions and, in some cases, delusions going on in the farm sim community at the moment. You meant the 5 AM? Somewhat. Is there collisions on the hedges and fences? Yes. So this map is being made to basically suit what I like. So the simple fact of the matter is, if you don't like something that's on the map, tough luck. It's my map. I'm gonna put, actually gonna, because that looks a bit extreme. Put a little dabs of concrete on so it looks kind of more roughed up than it is at the moment. Because an interesting little thing is if you put the concrete on top, it kind of almost looks as if the concrete is covered by the dirt. Like, you know, you can see the concrete through it almost. And I like the effect that it gives. Yeah, today's the day where the mods might beat Fahy to stuff, because he likes being in GE when he's watching GE streams. I do the same thing. If I'm watching a stream, odds are I'm doing something else. So odds are I actually won't be in Landy's stream today, because I want to start work on the video I was scripting last night, and that's gonna take definitely a few hours to just get the even just my voice segments recorded. Then I've got to come up with all the editing stuff that I'll need to do, and... Is it compatible seasons? At the moment, no. Will it be when it's coming out? Probably. I'm going to put a seasons mask in. Let me think. Any other commonly asked questions about the map? Is it coming to console? No, unfortunately. And while that is my decision, and it is final, it's not something I've decided lightly. So the reason that it's not coming to console is I feel like the complete experience of the map will have scripts. Will have like multi-terrain detail, seasons, chopped straw. If it's out by then, I'll probably even put in soil mod compatibility. Just for the sake of, like, if you want to play it in the most realistic possible way you can. The reason it's not coming to console is because I feel like those scripts, especially chopped straw, and multi-terrain detail, multi-terrain angle, they are intrinsic to how the map is. I can't take them out and feel like I'm giving people the complete map. So, for you guys who play Farm Sim on PS4 and Xbox One, I do apologize. I really do. I couldn't be more sorry. That I just can't bring myself to give you guys an incomplete, suboptimal experience. And that really sucks. It really sucks that you guys, if I were to bring Duneske to console, you just wouldn't have the experience that I want people to have at the map. And you wouldn't have the map that I want people to have. And that's, like, really important to me, is like the map is going to be a certain way and can be played however you like. You know, I'm not going to dictate how you play a map. That's up to you, but my vision for the map and how I want it released is just not compatible with console, and that truly sucks, and I wish it wasn't the case, but it unfortunately is. Actually, I just thought if I let the grass just go in like that a small bit, it kind of looks like moss, doesn't it? I may use that to my advantage. Well, yeah, to do VFs is even worse, because VFs is a 4x, and just by making that decision, it can't come to console. Which a lot of people maybe don't realize. I know VF didn't know until, like, I told him, hey VF, you know that making it 4x means new console ever. It's like some people make the decision immediately based on, like, oh, I'm gonna make a 4x. Well, that means you can't have it on console, just straight off the bat. And the reason that's the case, putting into the simplest terms I possibly can, is I've just realized I want to take something out of Upton to use just in GE. Because Lancey's got something there that I think would be incredibly useful for me. But like, if you're making a 4x map, it can't go on console, and the reason is the console's just... This isn't me taking a pot shot at consoles or whatever. Consoles literally can't handle 4x. They just don't have the power or the capacity to do it. Have I unintentionally made that the exact size of this wall here? Yes, fantastic, which means I can duplicate that and put it onto the back wall. Over me, I like that. And duplicate it again. Rotate it 90 degrees. Okay, rotate the Y 90 degrees. And let's see. If I were to line this up with this. Okay, that's one axis sorted. Then line these up here. Like this. Then stretch. That should, in theory, be perfect. Nope, I was off slightly. Wasn't perfectly centered, but that's fine. So I can just give it a little nudge over this way. It's another tip call done. Yep, doing tip calls, VF, because I think the most logical way to do them is to plop them in as you're going along. Is there anything else I realistically want to put in this yard right this second? Because keep in mind, I am like building the yards gradually. I think right now I'm going to just leave that yard. I'm going to set my brush here to be 5 meters. I'm going to set the right mouse button to be subtract. I think it's subtract I need. It is subtract I need. The opacity, hardness and value don't matter at this point. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the roadside trees. I'm just going to select this transform group here and bring it to where is... Oh, it's because I'm in this mode. Deselect this. Bring this down, knock the trees under the ground entirely. Deselect the trees. Select this. And set my camera up in a specific way. Minus 90. 0. And I'm going to lock it as ortho. At a height of 40 meters. So now I can't zoom in and out. Except I can because I'm using the ortho camera. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to my advantage. And as you can see, I now have a detailed look at the ground from an eye in the sky kind of perspective. And what I'm going to do now is just work on headlands again because this is relaxing. So the orthographic view looks straight down on the map. There's no distortion, there's no anything. And the way I've got this camera set up, which is why I was going into the camera settings, is I've got it set up to look straight down with no angles at all on it. The reason for that? Headlands look really good if they're somewhat even. Also, this ortho camera is really good for PDAs, which I think is one of the ways to get like an HD PDA going. I know there's a few different ways that a few different people use. I'll probably use this method myself. Just because you can fit the tiniest little extra bit of detail in, and it looks pretty sweet. I'm just going to sweep around here and up. And up. So what I'm doing is I'm keeping my eye on the little red cursor. There's a tiny little red cursor in the middle of this, and I'm just keeping my eye on that. I'm actually going to move the... Oh, I've got a field 1 on the map already. That's really helpful, actually. Boundary trees can go down 200. Or 100 even. Would be good enough. And that's again just so that I get a clear view over the map. That's done, that's done, that's done. This looks a bit rough. That is rough. This isn't done, okay. What exactly are info layers? They are what tells the map what's there. So the info layer I'm painting right now is the terrain foliage info layers, which fills in the crop density GDM as well as the cultivator density GDM. Now they're important because I'm just going to drop up that field there actually, so I'm going to need to redo that slightly. Don, why do you keep bringing up black sheep? Like almost every time I've looked at chat for the last little while, you've said something or other about black sheep modding. I've got nothing against them, but I haven't mentioned them or brought them up at all, so I'm just wondering why you keep doing that. Like, don't get me wrong, Black Sheep makes some fantastic mods and I enjoy using them, but it makes very little sense to me for you to keep just randomly saying Black Sheep modding. Hey, Shy! How you doing, dude? VF, there's a method that works very easily. It's just like remembering what color corresponds to what info layer. Because obviously different info layers will have different colors. I think it's all like shades of grey. Adding onions to a map. I cannot stand onions. I don't mind if they're like cut up into tiny chunks so small that you can't even see, taste, just know about them, but like raw onions in like a sandwich, bleh, it ruins the sandwich. It's like tomatoes. I like... Here's an interesting thing, because I don't understand this myself, and maybe somebody will be able to explain it to me. I like tomato puree, tomato ketchup, tomato soup. Yeah, I like those three things. They're delicious. Love them. Can't get enough of them. Why do I not like tomatoes? Like, I love the tomato puree that goes on pizza. I used to do this, and I kind of just still do it from time to time. Or I would if the grill was working. Like, if you like toast one side of bread, flip it over, some tomato puree, a bit of like a sliced ham, and then some grated cheese on top, basically makes your mini pizza on a slice of bread. That's delicious. If you crack some black pepper onto the cheese, then you get that extra little bit of tang from it. It's, ooh, delicious. It's the texture of the tomatoes, I think, because like, even if tomatoes in a sandwich, I don't know it's in the sandwich, I'll bite into it. I've done this. I'll bite into the sandwich, and it's instantly nope, nope, not good. Because I can feel the texture and it's like, whoa, no. There's very few things that I'll instantly reject. Tomatoes is one of them. And I've had lovely sandwiches that were ruined once the texture of tomato came into them. Because I literally couldn't eat them anymore. Parsnips are lovely. I like parsnips. Give them a roast for about half an hour on the onion with some carrots. You know, some lovely, lovely carrots and the carrots end up being kind of caramelized, which is delicious. Honey roasted ones, even just normally roasted ones, Matt, I'd argue. Just like roast parsnips, delicious. I like roast carrots as well, and a bit of maybe roast turnip. So they've caramelized slightly, that is delicious. This is why we had the food room in Discord. Can you guys tell I've had my breakfast recently, or I've had something to eat recently, because I'm not too angry about talking about food, and I'm not like, guys, I'll get hungry, I'm supposed to be here for another hour and a half. Only an hour. Interesting. Great song, yes, best song. Old MacDonald, best song. Why is my water disagreeing with me today? Like, take a bit of water and suddenly the gas is like, nope, 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 I want out. Just because I have, like, fizzy water. Because I like sparkling water, it tastes nicer than still water or tap water. Because I am posh. Let's get this all done. The burp was almost timed perfectly. Yes. Thank you, Faye. Hey, Dusty. Did you... not gonna go into too much detail about this. Did you see what Landy put for your perusal? Because it was sent to me and I was gonna send it to you later. I forwarded it to Lancy and the other person involved. Yes, in there. That's what I'm talking about. He's put it in the Slack. I know that much. Or he said that. He's told me he did at least. Obviously I'm not in there, so I can't tell for sure. But, suffice it to say, it's a topic that I don't want to be talking about too much in the stream. But, haters gonna hate, eh? Oh yeah, I'm done with it as well. I've got like one more thing to do, and that's like he can rant and rave all he likes about it after that. That's why I don't want to talk about it today, because I got one last thing that is being done. And that's it. I'm done, I'm backing away, don't want to hear, see, or smell the name again. Because I suppose do I want to tease the video or not? Now, I'm gonna make a video talking about the root cause of what's been going on. I'll put it that way. I spent 3 hours writing a script for it last night because I don't want to take it out of hand or get, you know, attacky or something like that. So I'm gonna read from a script intentionally so that I don't go off script. It's a topic that needs to be spoken about in a calm and controlled manner. Hey Chris, how you doing? Oh, no. And Dave, you know you know what the root cause of it is, like on my front. So that's what the video will be about. I'm gonna do that talk show thing. No, I'm just gonna make a video explaining it. Because I don't... Well, video explaining something else. The video, by the way, will be up when it's done. It's gonna take me a few days to make. It's not like my standard... It's not my standard turn on Audacity and just talk about something for 20 minutes video. Like, it's something that I've... Hey, Tyler! It's something that I've literally spent 2 hours making sure that I wasn't gonna say something stupid last night. I'm gonna spend another... You guys can see XSplit. Hello, there's XSplit. Oh no! I've closed everything! I've minimized everything. I did it, Dave! Here's XSplit. Look at XSplit. Just creeping on in there. That's the worst. I need to try and figure out how to turn that damn thing off. Ooh. That was an angry save. Don't want to talk about it, but that's soon talk. I'm talking about the video I'm making, Matt. There's a difference. But you're right, I'm gonna move on from that entire mess. Yeah. Suffice it to say, I had a fun night last night of typing and doing research. Should you start Farm Sim Let's Play? What kind of question is that asking as somebody who's making Let's Plays? Of course you should! How's the nice going now? It's going pretty good. I'm kind of grinding it to a halt at the moment to help Lancy with Upton. Up tester for him, so it's... Like, this week's just been weird with videos and stuff, because it's just... For whatever reason, it feels like it's taking twice as long for me to make any single video. Like, I've got tomorrow's video edited and rendered and uploaded, but I don't have any thumbnail for it. I don't have any thumbnail for Saturdays, which is also uploaded, and they're gonna have to both be the same thumbnail because I've only got one potential picture to use for it. Louise! But that's kind of how my week's been going, I guess, in general. Is just like, things have been going wrong and I've been trying to deal with all of them. And it's just taking up time that I'd rather spend eating. Or, you know, working on the map, or... Actually, with Upton, it's time I'd almost want to spend testing Upton, because that is a beautiful map. Like, I'm sure Dave's seen screenshots of it from Lancy, and You guys also working on it and on his channel. It is a fantastic looking map. Am I going to stream Upton? Yes, when it is ready. I have given a very clear position on release dates to Lancy, because you guys know what's coming soon. And you guys know that pretty much any other map's going to get eaten by it. So, I've told Lancy to use that to his advantage. Because that's basically extra testy time. It's a fantastic map. Like, I'm just helping Lancy get rid of some of the rough edges, and there's, I think, one or two things that I'd like to do to it myself. Too many maps at once again. Yeah. Including my own, which kind of sucks to say it, but I'm trying to get it playable by the end of the year, and with all the maps that I end up getting to test and play about with and enjoy, kind of, like I say, it's a struggle to. Orchard won't be what. Won't be for a while. Yeah, like, people are gonna get annoyed by the whole Orchard delays thing, but it's just a case of, you know, every time Orchard's just about to come out, something comes along that kind of pushes it back, and I think the West Coast is. I don't think many people are going to complain about the West Coast pushing maps back, because, like, I've told Lancy to just put off releasing Upton until the West Coast hype has died down a bit. And that's why I'm testing it off camera, is I don't want to, you know, show you guys the map and say, oh yeah, it won't actually be out for another month and a half. You know, I'd much prefer to show you guys the map and say, hey, it's going to be out in like 2 weeks. Because I know people do tend to get bored of maps, even just watching YouTube videos of them. After a certain amount of time, so I'm giving the West Coast room to. I may want to check Lancy's Facebook. It's kind of urgent. What's he done? That's his personal page, Lewis. It's fine. Plus, he's not naming names. Hey, Itachi. Actually, I'm just gonna remove that, so for reasons. Have I ever heard of Ark Survival Evolved? Yes, it's a game that I don't want to play. Lewis, that's not a topic I'm going to get into. I've told you I'm not going to get into the topic today. I'll talk to you about it on Discord later. Faye, it's about the no topic, basically. But don't take action. Lewis is just alerting me to what's been said. I'm not going to talk about it. Do not take action against Lewis. He's good. So like I said, there's a topic that I don't want to talk about. and the mods know what it is. Yeah, I'm just making sure you didn't take action, because I did say last night, like, no exceptions, but I've changed my mind, like, you know. Changed my mind this morning, actually. I put it into the admin room, so I'm presuming you saw that. Could I add a few large fields? 3D Hillbilly! This is my map, it's based on a real area near me. It's... Honestly, this is gonna sound crass and mean, okay? But this is meant in the most positive way it possibly could be. Okay? I don't care what people think about this map. This is the map I want to make, and I'm making it in the way that I want to make it. If people enjoy the map, that's fantastic and brilliant, and I'm happy. If people don't enjoy the map, well, there's plenty of others out there. You know, that's the way I'm looking at this entire thing, because I've been working on this for the better part of 2 years, and there's very little that I'm really putting public consultations towards. Like this, if I was doing like a viewers vote map, then maybe I'd consider that, but all the fields are finalized. Some of the fields are really big, really quite big, some of them are really small. And I know exactly why you asked that question. Big Bud will not fit on this map, I can personally guarantee it. So good luck if you want to try and use Big Bud or American equipment. It probably won't fit. How's that for being blunt? You know, this is an Irish map with Irish laneways. It's not a case of, oh, I'm making a map because I can. It's a case of, I'm making a map based near me because I want a map based near me, and I've been working on this for a while, and I want it to feel real. If you don't like how Irish farming feels, then maybe don't play an Irish map. That said, I am going to try and... Well, I am going to shoehorn in all the game features as I can. So, like, there's a BGA, which is probably going to house the manure sell point. Because in real life, you would actually sell, like, manure and slurry to BGA. See you, Louise! Yeah, I want this map to be 100% playable. It's currently playability is sitting at about 2%. I'm gonna try for it in Giants Mod. I think so, yeah. Downside of that is I know that I'll be eventually inundated with as it comes to console, which I'm gonna make like pinned to Twitter or something. I have to make a post and pin it to Twitter and Facebook and everything. Are you able to go into my house in this map? No, it's far enough away from my house that my house isn't actually in it. Because I actually live on the edge of town, and like one side of my house is town, one side of my house is mountains. It wouldn't make for a good map. Whereas what I'm doing here is very, very much like out in the countryside. A few miles outside of town. Right. That looks done. And I'm fine with these as long as they looked at. That's a rough edge, so this is presumably done. Yeah. This is... Oh, I was looking at the wrong side of the railway line. Whoops. So this needs to be done here. Now the sharp corners here I will be getting rid of. They're just... You heard me kind of mutter it there. The sharp corners are an indicator for me that these are done. For sure. I'll be smoothing these out once all the headlands are actually in. Because this is what I'm doing now, is I'm just building in the grass headlands. I'll just rough this in. A bit like that. Doesn't have to be 100% perfect, but 98% will do. You able to go into any house? Keelan, I don't have any houses on the map, so I guess the answer is no. Like, the only buildings currently on the map are literally those sheds that I placed earlier on in a cow shed that I placed like a week and a half ago. I'm building this in a way that's different from the way most map makers build. I'm not like working on yards first and then kind of expanding the map like that. Because I know most map makers have similar ways of working, which is kind of like taking chunks of the map and doing them and then moving on to the next chunk and doing that. I'm working on the entire map at once, but I'm doing it in layers. So the first layer was kind of roughing the fields in, so I knew where they'd be. After that, it was putting the roads in so that they were all sorted out. Then it was putting hedges and fencing and walls in so that was that kind of layer of the map done. Now what I'm doing is I'm doing kind of a layer of trees and sorting out the forests and whatnot. As well as finalizing the fields. So these are going to be the final field shapes for the most part. I'm going to just, you know, round off the corners a bit, but by and large this is what the fields look like when it's done. And I'm putting, you know, trees up around them. And the reason that I'm doing all the, you know, the trees and final field shapes at the same time is because honestly it's a lot easier to do the field shapes and then, you know, put trees around them than vice versa, because you saw I had to move the entire transform groups underground. Is this bit done here, or does it need doing? This bit needs doing again. Let's just bring this up here like this. I must have missed this edge at some point, possibly. Just run this up here. Now, granted, this is not the most exciting thing in the world to watch. You know, map making isn't a million miles an hour rush a minute. Hey, Landy! You know, it's slow going, it's not... overly exciting, but for a lot of people, myself included, I find it very interesting to see different people working on maps in their own styles. Have I had any issues? None as such. Should I be concerned, Landy? Has something else been said that I should be worried about? Also, last night I discovered, after I think you were actually on TeamSpeak at the time, but XSplit now actually works with Stream Deck. So, when, it's not even an if, when I get my Stream Deck, it's gonna be, oops. It's gonna be 100% compatible. You're just checking. Okay, just... You know why I was asking that, and yeah, I'm gonna have to... Ignore the writing in the fields. Now, if I had issues, I would have let you know on Facebook almost immediately. It's the kind of situation where immediate knowledge is best. Especially how fast it moves at times. Let's get down to this end of the hedge here. Get across over here. There we go. Just gonna stop that there. And that little bit needs to be filled in. I'm gonna have a sore arm by the end of the stream because... Am I editing or making a map? Making! This isn't... You know, the simple little edits that... You know, some of you guys are used to me doing, or... You know, the ones that pop up almost overnight on the channel. This is a full map being built. And I've been working on it for... I think about as long as Bill's been working on the West Coast. It's not been a short process by any means. What I will say is that progress is gonna, I think, speed up quite significantly soon, because most of what's left to do is some of the easier stuff, I think, like gameplay stuff, like putting in sheds and just kind of putting a bit of character into the yards and stuff. I consider that relatively easy. Compared to like all the other work that has been done. Why is this bit so rough here? What's RDG and flag? Code for me to know and you to find out when it's done. Some of the notes on the map are literally just to be understood by me. It's also why they've got dots, is to remind me that they're fields that I need to remember. Fields that I want to remember, although I'm kind of having second thoughts about the plans I had for these fields, to be honest. I say your name, so Landy will hear to pronounce it if he's still here. Blazing Squad. That's how to pronounce his name, Landy. It's Blazing Squad. Now, either one or both of you are about to shout at me, and I don't mind that at all. No problem, Landy. Silly Blage. On a serious note, it is actually pronounced Blage. Which is an interesting name, for sure. Blage Gonek. But Blazing Squad's probably easier to remember. Adapt. I don't know why, and you can't see this, but I've tilted my head, and this somehow makes it easier. The Underoozed. Is your name not the Underoozed? Is it actually pronounced the Underwhelming Rubber Chicken, though? Like, is the Underwhelming Rubber Chicken your actual name, or just one that you use on YouTube? So your name's not the Underwhelming Rubber Chicken? Considering my first language is English, Blage, it's probably not a bad attempt. That's that's it on your birth certificate. To be fair, it's better than some names people genuinely have. I think there's somebody in, I think, New Zealand called Number 9 Bus Shelter. Like, there's a difference between, like, having a name that I'm making fun of, or literally just having a terrible name. Because if you look up, like, weirdest names ever, like, there are some really weird ones from around the world. Including, I think, a few kids in China called iPad. I called you the underused tilde key by accident. Well, that wasn't really an accident. I mean, the tilde key is underused. What have I just changed? Because it's... Oh, I think I've changed the boundary tree somewhere. It's actually the camera I need to change. To -90, 0. Because I accidentally clicked in the wrong way. Guy near you is called Crisscross. I used to know a guy called Michael Wood, which is an unfortunate name in Ireland, considering his... I think everybody just called him Mickey. I was in a bit of a silly mood that day. I'm in a bit of a silly mood most days. Funny thing is, when I'm in a particularly bad mood, and I know I'm in a bad mood when I start streaming, I tend to get weirder. You know someone called Cabbage? Are you actually serious, underused? Because if so, that is probably the dumbest name I've ever heard. When is Dave not in a silly mood? Yeah, next question. You know someone called RainbowDave Gaming. Well, you know that's not my real name, right? Like, you guys know that RainbowDave is just kind of a character I portray on the channel. It's not really what I'm actually like off camera and off YouTube, right? Because I can be very different indeed. Especially when nonsense is happening. How do you spline to map? Hit the create button, hit spline. There you go, you got a spline. I mean, you never asked what kind of spline, so that's the very basics of how to add any type of spline to a map. Is hit create, hit spline. You have spline now. TNF, I'd strongly suggest you look up Farmer Yip. He did some mapping tutorials a while back that I think most of them are still pretty relevant. Although I haven't watched them myself, but if you want mapping advice, go to that channel because it's probably going to give you more information than I could. Because in all reality, as much as you guys like to think that I know what I'm doing here, I'm just kind of fumbling my way through, and it's working so far. There's no guarantees that I'm actually doing things correctly or know what I'm doing. Dang it. 5. There's no guarantee that I actually know what I'm doing and I'm doing things in any way correctly. I'm just guessing my way through life and definitely through the map and hoping that what I'm doing is some way right. Is it true I actually have some sort of science degree? Yes, I got a BSc in biomedical sciences. That is like not a joke that I've been running for a while. Like, I am legitimately, I legitimately do have a scientific degree. You know, I worked in a lab for, how long was it? 5 months. Doing some scientific testing on stiff. Which is why I'm able to flick from being super serious to super silly at the flick of a button. Almost. So let me add spline with the trees. How to do that? I use the spline placement script. Which I'm not giving you a little run through of. I've done it a few times already. I've got so much on my plate right now between videos and testing Upton and trying to find extra time to work on the map and doing other things and other projects that I can't realistically be expected to help everybody with mapping. As much as I'd love to, and I'd love to get new people into mapping and modding, it's a pain. Like, it's an absolute pain. Can I say that slowly, please? That slowly, please. Why did you want me to say that? It's a very odd thing for somebody to want me to say. Like, why would you want anybody to say just the words, that slowly, please? Am I making this from Google Maps or have I actually been here? Both, and like the yards and stuff are going to be kind of fictional. They're going to be based on about the science degree. I actually do have one. I spent 3 years studying to get a BSc in biomedical sciences. I worked for 5 months in a lab testing various things. And yeah, like that's not something I've ever made a joke about. Is I legitimately am a scientist and have a science degree. Although the fact that I'm so jokey and you know, I joke so much that people sometimes don't realize that that's actually something serious. That's real. That's not something I've made up as a joke. It's also why if I say stuff and go off on a little bit of a rant, I'll usually, if it's at all possible, have done a bit of research on what it is I want to talk about and how I want to talk about it. I don't just jump straight in and blindly give opinions on things. For example, yesterday the smelly thing from Giants, was it yesterday or Tuesday that the aroma thingy from Giants came out? Or there was a video brought out about it? I didn't think that was real until I think Sam or Landy or somebody found a video from the actual company that actually makes these things. So not only was it an April Fool's joke that either went too far or was so silly that, like, so based in reality that a company actually approached Giants to make it, or was just intended to mislead in the first place. But yeah, that thing's real. Will I get it? Probably not, because it wouldn't affect videos. In fact, it would, because here's the thing, I'd literally say, okay, it's time to spread some slurry, and then all you could hear in the mic is pfft, and then suddenly I'm coughing and wheezing because I can't stand the smell of slurry. Like the smell of ammonia just doesn't agree with me, which is what slurry smells like, effectively. So what slurry is, effectively. Like, it'd only disrupt videos, I think. I think it'd be cool to, like, have one for racing games, where it was like, every time you burnt up the tires into donuts or something, it'd throw out tire smoke, or burnt rubber smells. And every time, I don't know, every time the wind's facing you, you get the smell of, like, petrol engine oil. That thing is actually real, Fahy. I mean, I think they got the company in on a joke about it, but it is real. I don't know who approached who, or how, or why, but that thing is real. Who wants a room smelling crap? Well, it'll make your room smell better, Faye. After the 6 cans of Lynx Africa you go through every day. Lynx Africa is great, don't get me wrong, but 6 cans may be a bit too much per day. Fahy's now desperately trying to come up with a response. I can almost hear his brain cogs going. You went to Nando's again, Mark?
Hello, Dave. Is that Dave? Dave there.
Mark's now got a Nando's addiction. It's unhealthy. I still can't believe that you didn't know it was less than a kilometer away from you, dude. Like, it was 2 or 3... Yeah, I think something's gone wonky with Streamlabs, annoyingly. If it was 2 or 3 kilometers, I'd understand, but like, within a kilometer? Dude, like, how? Yeah, Streamlabs being a bit wonky. I think it was just making sure that it was still running or something. Good news that you don't have another day off for a while. How is that good news? I mean, short of avoiding, you know, all the mess that's been going on of late in various places, don't exactly see how being super busy is good news. Got lost in the city. Well, no, because, like, Mark, I used to live in a city and I knew what was within a kilometer of me, roughly. Granted, I didn't know what was within a kilometer of me in one direction, but that was because it wasn't. It was like heading out of the city. Get this sorted out. Shout? No. Oh. There's Pizza Hut, Vent going into his backyard, so if he wants pizza, all he does is shout the order up to Vent, and he goes around 10 minutes to collect. That's amazing. Like, that would not be good for me, because I'd literally just eat nothing but pizza. Constantly. Like, it doesn't even matter how bad the pizzas are, it's like, oh, it's just there. Why would I eat anything other than pizza? It smells amazing. I can imagine. That said, I don't think I'd be able to put up with it too much. Because, I mean, it's all well and good when you're able to eat pizzas. But if you're trying to lose weight, that smell could get you real quick. Because, like, the smell of a pizza, the smell of, like, a Pizza Hut is intentionally made so that people want pizza. You don't even have to give your name when you go to the Chinese anymore. My parents go to the Chinese every Sunday. They don't have to order anymore. They literally just get given a table and the food comes out like 5 minutes later. They don't have to order because they get they get the same thing every time. So it's just like, hey, welcome back, same as usual. Yep, please. And the food's like ready super fast. In his backyard, so it's not too tempting. I'd still call that tempting. You know, there's a part of me wanting to end the stream a bit early, to be honest, because I'm just not feeling GE all that much today. When that happens, you know, it's what, 15 minutes ago? Yeah, I think. I think I'm gonna finish a bit early. I'm just not feeling GE too much. You know, I've done a good bit of work, and I'm happy with what I did do. But no, honestly, I'm like quite tired because of being up so stupid late last night. So anyways, I'm gonna end the stream here. Lanny's gonna be starting up in about 10-15 minutes probably. Go over, check him out. He'll be on literally a map today, probably, hopefully. Yeah. I'll be back Saturday with Thornton, most likely. I'll leave you by saying I've been RainbowDave. You've been watching Giants Editor, making Duneske. If you enjoyed, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, stay safe. And goodbye.